Hello, rail fans. Welcome to French Fried Trades. It's Saturday, March 27th, 2021, and we're at Taylorsville Metro Park in Vandalia, Ohio. We waited 2.5 hours before we would finally see a train. But this one was worth the wait. An epic 5-unit lash-up with an ES40 DC leading, and that second unit is a Dash 8. I really didn't expect to see that. Behind that is a GP38-2, and then an ES44 ACH and an AC44 CW. I was informed that this was Q507. This was another monster manifest train. Here's an old Wisconsin Central boxcar. And some bright green cars here. Here's a pair of classic Conrail boxcars sandwiching an old faded CSX boxcar. And finally, about 7 minutes later, we reached the tail end of the train. Despite staying out for another hour after that, this was the only train we saw that day. The next time I was able to get out was on March 31st. Triple EMD power on this one, a pair of SD42s lead, and check out this trailing unit, a GP38-2, originally built for the Durham and Southern, and take note of its tiny fuel tank and lack of dynamic brakes. It was nice catching this train with all EMD locomotives, especially since recently CSX abolished J782 and J783, two local trains that usually guaranteed EMD power. And check out the weathering pattern on some of these old covered hoppers. And here's a nice blue boxcar with some red paint fading through. And some graffiti adds a splash of color to a large cut of dull gray covered hoppers. And check this out. Here's a borax branded covered hopper. And a cat painted on this boxcar. And finally, the end of the train goes by. We waited around, and it was probably another hour before the next train would arrive. Check that out. CSX number 5 leads, one of the older AC-44 CWs built in 1994. Trailing is an ES-44 ACH. Here we see an old Family Lines car. This was another monster manifest that took almost 14 minutes to go by. Here we see a rusty old paint-peeling Cargill tanker. Lots of covered hoppers on this one. And a really old rusty rail box here. And now we're into some auto racks. The entire rear half of this train was auto racks. And a splash of color on this one here. And some characters painted on this one here. Here's a TFM auto rack. And some graffiti with a palm tree on this one. And finally, about 14 minutes later, we reach the end of the train. So that's all for this episode of French Fried Trains. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And everyone have a great week. Stay safe out there.